as we know, AI is here to stay already, right? And many companies have taken on board the AI platforms, the tools and apps. But like in Krishnan's case, I think there are still perhaps some companies who may not be on board yet. And maybe, I don't know, it could be for security reasons, or it just could be personal preferences.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In this case, if today we were to look at Krishnan's concerns, it feels to me, his query sounds like the boss just has a personal preference not to use it.
Now, today's question was sent to us by a listener who I'll call Krishnan. Krishnan says his company doesn't have an AI policy, and he says his boss is quite old school and doesn't understand AI. Now, Krishnan uses AI for his work. Some useful ways it has helped him is in drafting proposals and emails to clients, because Krishnan says he's weaker at expressing himself in English. Now, AI has really truly been a game changer for him. Krishnan wants to know, should I come clean and disclose to my boss that I use AI at work because I think it will help the rest of my team? But what if my boss thinks I'm trying to use it to take shortcuts? Yeah. So while we talk about how everyone should be embracing AI for efficiency, that's what we have been, discussing on this podcast from time to time. I think there are companies where bosses are afraid of change. They're afraid of the unknown. So Gerald, how can Krishnan approach this conversation with a boss who might not be open to AI adoption?
As we know, AI is here to stay already, right? And many companies have taken on board the AI platforms, the tools and apps. But like in Krishnan's case, I think there are still perhaps some companies who may not be on board yet. And maybe, I don't know, it could be for security reasons, or it just could be personal preferences.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In this case, if today we were to look at Krishnan's concerns, it feels to me, his query sounds like the boss just has a personal preference not to use it. Yeah, I'm not sure. But Tiffany, over in your work, area of work, do you need to declare the use of AI for what you do?
Yeah, so we do disclose if we're using certain AI tools. We do also use some AI tools in the newsroom, but not to a large extent, only because I think it depends on the business of the company. So in our case, we are a news business and our reputation is very important. We can't just take whatever AI says wholesale as reporting that this is the truth, right? So we still have to do like our groundwork. We still have to speak to people. So in that sense, I would say that like we do disclose, but we can still use these tools.
Yeah, I think as part of like what you mentioned, as part of the disclosure, there's still that part that you have to do as well. It's not just relying on it wholesale, right? So Krishnan mentioned about how using AI may be seen as taking shortcuts.
May be seen as being lazy,
or being
right?
lazy, right? But I think the association between these two, AI and laziness, should not be there. I think AI helps us to work in a different way, right? We are using AI to give us to do the foundational work, and we need to come in to check, to validate, to choose, to conceptualize further about what can we use from the AI platform. So I think laziness is not there, right? It's definitely not something that should be associated. But at the same time, I think what Krishnan could do, specific to his situation with his boss, right? Perhaps maybe to first start by understanding
where the concerns and fears
what is the concern
from.
with using this, right? Or with using AI? Is it because the boss, like I said, security, or is it he's just not convinced, or maybe the boss don't know how to use AI, right? And
fear of the unknown, right?
Fear of the unknown, and that's why we have AI training for companies and for to get everybody on board to utilize AI for their business processes. So I think the first thing Krishnan should really do is to talk to the boss and find out, or maybe not talk, maybe the boss doesn't want to talk about it, but just maybe observe, like what is the boss appetite about AI, right? If he's using AI by himself, then you know that it's not about AI, he's not being comfortable with AI. But if the boss really resists all things AI, even for his own personal life,
yes,
your boss ends up like those maybe the tech laggard, right?
Yes.
Like not even having apps, don't want to do digital banking, that kind, right?
Yeah.
Then you know that
it's quite hard to change mindsets there.
Exactly. So try to sense what the boss does not like about AI. Maybe also look at the colleagues
Okay.
The peers, how do they use AI? How do they get around this thing with the boss? Or is everybody under the same thing?
So it could be that everyone is using AI. It's just that nobody is sharing what AI tools that they are using because everyone is scared to disclose, right, in the company.
Yeah, and then Krishnan is the only nice guy who's like, I need to be compliant to let my boss know. Everybody's
And
like,
I need
don't
to
declare.
help my other colleagues. Yeah, everybody's like, don't declare, dude.
Yeah. So I think find out from them, how do they get by? Do they even use AI? What are some of the things that maybe they had tried to do to justify to the boss about the use of AI?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe can also involve your boss during work discussions to slip in a
Yeah.
little bit of AI here and there. Like,
yeah, true.
boss, can I use AI to just throw up some options and see what we can get?
Yeah.
So that the boss will feel like, okay, this is not a threat.
Yes.
Right. This seems to be quite useful.
Yes.
I know of someone who was really, really adamant about not using AI at all.
Okay.
And then
Why?
every time I'll ask the person, like, do you want to throw this question into a platform and we see what comes out?
Yeah.
And the person will say no. Every time will say no.
Okay.
Until one day this person said, maybe you can ask AI about me.
Oh,
And then I was like, huh?
strange.
Yes, AI about you. I believe,
It's like it's like Googling yourself.
yeah, Googling yourself, right? So we just need to find that thing that
That avenue to come in, yeah,
to
the
interest someone about
introduction.
AI.
I think another way that maybe Krishnan can also do is to look at data. Always go back to data, right? See if there are any use cases of the role that he's doing. Maybe he can like find data to support how it can really make the job that he has a lot more efficient, cut down by how many percent and everything. So using that data and presenting it to the boss might actually be a less scary conversation to have because it can be very factual. It can be like this is what the data has shown us. If you want us to, be more efficient, this will be helpful.
Yeah. So the data in terms of like man hours saved.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
The time that's saved. Something that you need maybe 1 day to do, you can do it within 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So of course the other thing is money, right? So maybe Krishnan can also explore sharing the boss like what are the subsidies for AI training.
Yes.
Right? So that as part of staff training, the boss could be seen as investing in the team to grow the team's capability, and then look, there's government support as well to learn AI. So after that learning, then must apply ma.
Yes.
So that's where you
So
slip
let's
it
have
in.
it use it in our team.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope, Krishnan, that this answers your question. I hope it helps you as you have this maybe not so easy conversation with your boss. And if anyone else, like Krishnan, you have a work-related question, do send it to us. We are at cnapodcasts at mediacorp.com.sg. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Me Listen, and YouTube, where a video version of this is at.
I'm Gerald.
And I'm Tiffany. Have a good, fun work week ahead.